Hello, I'm Sandy Brown, Children and Family Worker at Christchurch United Reformed Church, and today I'm going to show you how to make some nativity characters. This is our second activity in the Messy Christmas in a Bag series. So I've been busy making lots of nativity characters out of toilet rolls. So if you have some toilet rolls handy, you could do the same, couldn't you? But in our pack we have provided you with some card in case you haven't. So the first one I made was Mary. This is Mary. I've made her by using a toilet roll and wrapping some fabric around and making a little face out of paper. I've got some wool for hair, another bit of fabric for her hat, an elastic band to hold it on, and for arms I've used a pipe cleaner. But you can do it without arms if you like. It was quite tricky to thread the pipe cleaner through, so you might like just to do it without arms. And the rest of them I have done without arms. So that's Mary. This is Joseph. Very similar, but as you can see he's got a beard, and he's in dark blue and Mary's in light blue. And then I made a shepherd. I'm going to show you how I made the shepherd in a minute. And then I've also made a king. Here's the king. And he's got some nice green shiny fabric on, which I found, and a felt crown with a little motif on the top. So those are the ones I've made so far. I'm going to make another shepherd to show you how to do it. So I've got my toilet roll. If you're using card, just bend it round into a circle. And then I've got some stripy fabric that I'm going to use for his outfit. All I'm going to do is glue the fabric on the bottom. So it's about half, it takes up, it's about half of the height of the toilet roll. So if you've got kitchen rolls, you could use those as well, but you'll need to probably cut them in half at least. So I'm going to put the glue, and I'm just using ordinary stick glue, onto, just in one place, on the bottom of the toilet roll. And then we're going to pop that piece of fabric on where the glue is, bring it round, and then a bit more glue there, bring that over so it's a nice tight fit. And that's part of the shepherd done. The next thing to do is to make his headdress, and I've got another bit of fabric here. It's a slightly thicker bit. If you haven't got any fabric, don't worry, because you can use paper, coloured paper, or even if you haven't got coloured paper, you could use a piece of paper out of a magazine or something like that. That would work equally well, or even a bit of newspaper. So I'm going to put his hat on here. What I'm doing is I'm putting it so that it's got a little bit of overlap here, and then bringing it down either side. So I've got an elastic band, and I'm going to pop it over the top there. I think I'm going to bring that down a bit further so I've got a bit more fabric. Just lost my elastic band. So let's find another one. That's the trouble with elastic bands, you never know what they're going to do. Right, let's try again. So we've got our bit of fabric. I'm going to put our elastic band on. There we go. Right. So now he needs a face. So we're going to draw. I'm going to check what face I made on this one. I think we can do him with a beard, or we can do him without a beard. I'm going to do him with a beard, and I've got some felt pens I'm going to use to make his beard. So a nice grey one here. You can have a grey beard. So I'm just making a shape for his beard, which goes like this. And then I'm going to fill that in. So there are lots of nativity characters, aren't there, that we could do. We can do Mary, Joseph, we can do the shepherds, we can do some of the animals, and I have got an animal I'm going to do later to show you. And of course there's baby Jesus. We're going to cover him on another activity. And did I say the kings? And do the kings. And how much do we know about each nativity character? Do we know much about them? You know that Mary was visited by an angel, don't we? We're going to do the angel in another activity as well. So what I've done is I've filled that in now like that. That looks a bit like a beard, doesn't it? So if you was going to tell the nativity story to somebody else, do you think you'd be able to do it? I think it's helpful to have these characters so that we can tell the story, isn't it? I'm going to just make a mark for his mouth. I'm going to have a nice smiley shepherd, like that. And then I'm going to draw in his eyes and have some nice big dark eyes, and 2 little dots for his nose. There we go. And that's more or less our shepherd. What I did do is, in your packs you've got candy canes you can use for his walking stick, or his shepherd's crook you might say. I haven't got one of those, so I'm going to use a pipe cleaner to make him a nice shepherd's crook. A little bent bit at the end, like that. And then he can hold that. So we just stick that on. You can use sellotape, or you can, I stuck this one on with glue and it seems to be staying at the moment, but we'll see how we get on. I might need to sellotape it on later. So there we have it. We have 2 shepherds. There we go. See if you can find a way to make some sheep as well, maybe with a bit of cotton wool or something like that. So that's the shepherds. So I did say I'd show you how to make an animal, and the animal we're going to make is a donkey. So here's the donkey we're going to make, and he, as you can see, he's made out of a toilet roll as well. So how we're going to make him is we're going to find another toilet roll, and we're going to mark it off where the leg holes are. Can you see? He's got round circular bits where between his legs, and he can stand up that way. So what we're going to do is use pencil and mark 4 marks inside the tube. One opposite that, and then 1 in between that, and 1 in between that. And that's going to help us to draw, I've already drawn mine on, some arches, really, they're arches. So you draw an arch where each dot is, leaving enough room, which is about a centimetre for each leg. Don't go up too high. I've gone up about, I suppose, not half, is it? It's about a third, I'd say. Draw the arches on, and then all you need to do is cut those out. Before we do that, we could cut out, it's about 2/3 up his body. So we're just going to make a hole here and cut around to make his body. There we go. There we go. So now we're going to cut the arches out to show his legs. There's one. Here's the next one. so that's the body with the legs, and this other bit we can use to make the head. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a head on, something like, you can have quite a sharp little chin if you like. So you start off like that. I'm just going to turn my donkey around so I can see what he looks like. There we go. And then we're going to go up like that. And then we're just going to draw 2 ears. So quite nice long ears donkeys have. So there we go. Let me show you. There we go. So that's his head around the tube. And then you're going to cut that out. So to make it easier, cut where you haven't drawn anything so that you've got that. And then you can cut out your donkey head. This one is slightly smaller head than the other one, and I think I didn't leave quite enough cardboard at the top of my tube, so there's a lesson for us. So this one's going to be a baby donkey maybe. He's a bit taller than the other one, that's why. Yeah, not a baby donkey. Right, so, and you can just, it should uncurl quite easily. There we go, that's our donkey head. So what I've done is I've drawn in a nice white nose, like muzzly bit, that bit. Can you see? So I'm going to colour that in now. I've got some little paint pens here, so you could use actual paint if you want, or if it's easier, use a little bit of paper and stick it on. I realised I left my glue stick uncovered, which is not a good idea. Right, so now we're going to do this muzzly bit. Like that. Okay, and then the next bit is 2 eyes, so we're going to draw those on. And he also has some white bits around his ears, so I'm going to draw that one as well with paint marker. Of course, if you've got some white chalk, that might work as well, or a white crayon, that would work. Anything that you've got handy to do this bit. The trouble with these paint markers is they are brilliant, but they do take a little bit of time to dry. So that's all the white bits done. I can't actually do the rest until it's dry, so I'm going to leave that to one side and just show you the donkey that I've done. So as you can see, he's got a little bit of hair here, which I've coloured in, 2 black dots for eyes, a smiley mouth, and 2 black dots for his nostrils. So that's the donkey. Yes, and I think Mary can even sit on the donkey so that we can tell the story. Look at that. So I'm not going to tell you the story now, but maybe I will tell it in a later video when we've got all the characters made. So I hope you will be able to tell the story with your characters when you've made them. Enjoy making them, and that's it for now. Goodbye, see you the next time.